What's something different that you want to embrace, right? How can we fall in love with ourselves again? How can we reflect, pause, think about what do we deserve? Hey, loves. My name is Dantea, and I'm your fave self-worth therapist and coach. And this is my show, Situationship. This show is about getting out of toxic situationships that go beyond partners to family and friends and everything in between, to living a life of joy and self-worth. Okay, let's get into it. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right. Let's get into it. Okay. So like I've mentioned in other episodes, I love fall. I love fall. Like, what comes to mind when you think of fall? Like, when I just say fall, like when I say fall season, what comes up for you in your mind? What do you start envisioning? What do you see? I'll go first, and then you can go. Well, first, this title, like, how like cute is it? Don't you love it? Okay. So first, when I think of fall, literally my mind, it's you know how you see like a portal, like when it's like watching sci-fi stuff and like someone's getting sucked into a portal, so you see all the lights and stuff like kind of moving around it kind of fast, and you're like they're getting sucked into a tunnel. That's how I feel. I feel like my mind literally wishes through some type of tunnel, and I start to see like Ugg boots. I start to see Ugg boots. I see like, give me my Sherpa sweater, spiked apple cider, large glass windows, right? Watching non-children play in the leaves. Watching my non-children play in the leaves. Let me clear that up. Watching other people's kids, basically, play in the leaves. I see myself in like some open space, home, maybe it's a cabin, and I'm just watching nature. Like literally I feel like fall, as it also means new beginnings. I feel like fall, for me at least, should be the time when I have my own retreat, and not like a retreat like I'm hosting, I'm putting on like my literal solo retreat. And every September or every October, people know, oh, where's Dantea? She's going to be like in her cabin, or she's going to be at that one resort or some shit, and she'll be there for a month. Like, now what am I doing? I don't know. Maybe I'll be like Shonda Rhimes and be like making jam with her in Vermont. I don't know. I literally do not know. I just feel like for me, it's a time of slowing down, paying attention, looking around, experiencing new, doing what my heart like feels. When my heart feels a lot of times is just being cozy. I like to be cozy. Cozy sunshine, 65-degree weather. You know what I mean? 70-degree weather on a great day, 65 sunshine. Oh my God. Like, okay, literally, okay, so I'm trying to paint the picture. Literally, when I think of fall, I want to be in the place of like those classic Disney movies, like where they shot Hocus Pocus 1 and 2. Like I want to be in those kind of Hallmark small. Do you see what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to be in those towns. Not be the only Black person. No, hell no. I'm trying to be in those towns. I was just like cute, quiet. I can afford to shop at the, grocery store that's not a chain, and we're paying top dollar. Like that's what I see for myself. So, what's yours? Tell me. I know I'm not alone here. Tell me. Do you want to make jam with Shonda Rhimes? Let me know. So yes, I can talk about that all day. So let's actually get into the thing that we do here. Let's talk about some stuff. Let me share some stories, and let me give some tips, and then we'll say goodbye until next time. In addition to all that, I literally think of new beginnings. I think of new experiences. I think of course, kids going back to school. I think of adults returning back to school. I think of people getting new jobs, right? Like September surge, and some of you may have heard about it, is when a lot of companies start hiring more. And I think there's just something to that. One of these days, I want to invite one of my colleagues on who knows more about the solstice and what do each four solstices mean and how it affects our body and how these solstices and changing of the seasons was intended for, right? Like not for modern society, like what it was really intended for back then. And so I'm going to ask, see if she wants to come on the show and we can talk more about this stuff because the way she breaks it down each season and how our bodies and our energy may feel to those seasons, I think it's fascinating. And so I could be getting this wrong. I'm not sure. For me, we're just going to roll with what I'm saying right now when she comes on and be like, okay, guys, so actually fall was not a time for newness. Fall was a time for harvesting. I don't know, right? So the point is, when I think of fall, I literally think of like shedding the things that no longer serve you. I think of like you start to watch the things that no longer serve you die. Of course, I attach this to like the leaves, right? Again, I love fall foliage. Like if I can wake up and I look outside my window and it's nothing but hella trees with oranges and greens and reds and browns because they're already like really dead, I would love that. And if the tree leaves are dying, and I think the death of that is beautiful, how could we not too then think the death of things that no longer serve us, that serve their purpose, is beautiful? Thank you. You know, like when things happen to me, now this is kind of a new thing for me, like what I'm about to say, when things happen to me that I feel like, what the fuck? And how come this happened? And oh my God, or like really sad about it. Many things in my life, right? We all know life will keep lifing, life will keep batting you up for other things when you think you just got through one major thing. And so for me, I've been learning to say thank you to those things. Like literally, a project didn't work out, a relationship didn't work out, a financial plan didn't work out, a certain location didn't work out, right? And I just learned to say thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for the time that you served, right? Thank you for the experience. Thank you for the not experience. And I'm going to let that die because also if we're really going to get into, let's get into it. Also, because when the leaves do die and they fall on the ground, they create, they start to break down, they decompose, and it creates fertilizer for someone, right? It creates nutrients for the ground, enrichment for the grass and soils, right? So all these things, they just happen the way they need to happen. And we just have to continue to lean into that and be like, yeah, this shit's a bumpy road, girl. I don't know about you, Dante, but I've been on a roller coaster like this for 2 years. I'm going to say back to you, honey, I get it. Okay? I get it. I feel like my life has been 90 miles per hour since 2014, maybe even be sooner than that. Definitely, I feel like my life has like been spinning around since 2018 for sure, like March of 2018 for sure. And I'm still trying to like find what pockets fit best for me, right? So all the things that no longer serve us, maybe ideals that we have, right? Maybe clothing that we have. Get your some Marie Kondo in there this fall. Figure out what you need to let go of. Location, maybe it no longer serves us. Relationships, maybe they don't no longer serve us. Beliefs, right? Behaviors. Some of my beliefs that I'm saying goodbye to, letting go of, is my beliefs that things will happen the way they are supposed to happen because I said so. Like that is my belief that I want to let go of. I'm really trusting and really starting to see that things for me happen not only the way they need to, and that they also, how do I say this? I've learned to worry just a little less. Like if I put this on a scale of 1 to 5, and 5 is like freaking the fuck out all the time, something doesn't go my way, or how come it's not happening yet? I would be at the top of that scale. I probably am over it. And now the scale's tipping because I'm so over it. I'm like a 10, right, out of 5. And now I would say that I'm probably closer to a 4.6, right? Like, I have gotten to a place where I'm like, okay, I have a freak out moment where I'm like, oh man, like this morning, I was waiting on something to happen for like 3 o'clock tomorrow. And I was like, oh my gosh, it hasn't happened yet. And, okay, maybe it's not gonna happen. Okay, maybe, okay, but I still want it, right? And then like I think 20 minutes into that, I was thinking, you know what? Maybe it's not gonna happen because it doesn't need to happen at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Maybe what I'm waiting to happen for at 3 o'clock tomorrow is actually going to show up at the end of this month. I don't know. Right. And then right before I got on to record, my thing at 3 o'clock is confirmed. And I'm like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Right. And so I'm not saying like, just believe in the power of the future. I'm also talking about regulate yourself, right? Like regulate your shit. If you're constantly freaking out like a 2-year-old to everything that doesn't go your way, how exhausting. Like truly, how exhausting. So what are some beliefs that you're going to let go of? What are some behaviors you're going to let go of, right? Are you someone where when something happens that you don't like, whether, if we're not aware of like it no longer serves us, are you someone quick to cut people off? Are you someone quick to stay as long as needed, even when it's becoming violent, right? So yeah, looking at you. What are the things that you want to let go of, and then watch them gracefully die? Maybe it's not gonna be as graceful. Watching them die, right? And just being in that moment with it. So are you still trying to change your love interest to be the person you want them to be? Or are you still trying to like really make that relationship happen for like the 2nd year in a row, for the 5th, for the 7th, for the 10th, like myself in the past, 10th year in a row? Come on. I thought about that the other day. I was like, I cannot believe I was trying to make a relationship with this person, one of my exes, for 10 years. Literally. I think we're longer than 10 years. Let's see. What year did we meet? Yeah. I think we met in 2008. I think 2008. Yeah. And we went well over 10 years. So I'm going to say 15? No, that's too many numbers. The point is, it's over 10 years, right? 10 years, too long. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. So with fall, I believe there's a lot of personal awakening. I really do. I think that once you're no longer trying to stay cool and your body can be somewhat comfortable, right? Other things get to come up that we didn't have the space for because we're just trying to stay cool and comfortable and, make sure we are doing fun things this summer before we have to start getting back to life and reality. So with the personal awakenings, I think it's a fun time, fun season, an interesting season to learn new things about yourself. Me, something really big that I'm learning, that I started learning maybe last week, like I for real cannot bullshit around anymore. I need to have a real cutoff time at 5 o'clock. I need to be done at 5 o'clock. Working for yourself, you'll just work. Like you will literally wake up and you'll start working on things. And then next thing you know, it's 8 p.m. And then next thing you know, it's 11 and you're in bed, but you're still like on your phone working on things or sending emails or whatever. And I just felt like I'm just like burning out. Like literally there's no more wax in the candle. And yet I'm still lighting it, expecting it to have some type of flame. And there's no flame, right? So by me practicing being done at 5, I think I did it for 3 days last week because that's when it all clicked. I felt so good. I felt like I was literally doing big girl shit. Like I felt like I was on vacation without being on vacation, right? So that's a personal awakening for me. Like, girl, you cannot go 12 hours a day and expect to feel recharged next day, right? Just like scraping to my desk the next day, like, oh my God, when is it gonna end? Right? When is Christmas gonna be here? Because then I know Christmas for sure I'm taking time off. I don't want to live like that anymore. I want to be present. I want to also, have my moments where I'm complaining. Like, obviously, I love to complain. And if I'm just constantly burning myself out every day, like, what's that going to look like? Truly. I think fall is also a time of personal discovery. So this fall, I want to explore a lot more. And I want to do more things by myself. I'm comfortable doing things by myself. I want to do like bigger things by myself. Like there's a podcast called Cocktails, like literally cock, like a dick, COCK, cocktails, right? Cocktails, something, tails, like TALES. And they're having a show, like a live show nearby. And I was like, ooh, I want to go to that, right? And then I thought, oh, well, maybe, it's in a city I haven't really been to before. And I don't know exactly what the shows are like live. However, I think that'll be fun, right? So whether I do that or not, something similar to that, something that is, and I know my voice is changing. I don't know what's happening. We're just going to keep rocking through it. Whatever that is, I want it to be something that I feel like, oh, this is different for me to do by myself. Like I can go out to eat by myself. I can go to the movies by myself. I can shop by myself. I can travel by myself. All those things done. Love it. Love it. Love it. It's those like more intimate things, right? Intimate that way. Going to that kind of podcast live, it's pretty assumed that it's like a girlfriend kind of let's chat girls with all our friends. And I'd be sitting there like by myself. However, what I do know about myself is that wherever I go alone, I always meet new people. That's just like who I am, right? So what are some of the things that you want to discover about yourself? Have you ever traveled by yourself? Have you ever gone to lunch, breakfast, or dinner, happy hour by yourself? Have you done that? Have you experienced what that's like for you? At the same time, what are some things that maybe aren't as active that you want to discover? Maybe you want to lean more into the stillness. I've noticed with myself, I've become less active. And I mean like less socially active. I love to socialize. Before COVID, I was never home. And I don't mean just like out of town. I mean like out in the streets. Like I was always gone. And then COVID hit and I was, in the house a lot more. And then I started to realize that I liked it. I liked being in a house. I started to realize that I liked having a lighter calendar. Because my calendar literally would be like 4 things on a Saturday. And then 4 things on a Sunday. Not a lot of time to myself. And there are a lot of things that are still happening around me, just based on, the city I'm living in. And I'm just like listening to my body more. There was a food and poetry, was it called that? Yeah, food truck and poetry event yesterday. And I was like, I want to go. And I also don't want to go. And I had to ask myself, like, is it because you don't want to leave the house? Is it because you don't want to go by yourself, whatever? And I was like, no, I love, hey, food truck, I'm there. I'm there. Live music, I'm there. I just thought like, no, like I really want to be home. The day before, I ran a lot of errands. They were all across different parts of town. It's hot, right? And I just wanted to be home. So I stayed home and it was awesome. It was great. So just some things like what's something different that you want to embrace, right? How can we fall in love with ourselves again? How can we reflect, pause, think about what do we deserve? How can we make our lives feel more deserving? I was like always, having a conversation with myself. And I was like, I really want to get some floating shelves and I don't know if I'll put candles up because I always get nervous about like, what if something happens and it falls and now my carpet's on fire, right? I gotta deal with that shit. More so, what I want to have floating shelves to give more I don't know what's the word, more homey vibes, right? I'm deserving of a home that feels me, that feels cozy, that feels like inviting. And right now, my house is not like that. It's very minimalistic, partly because I like that minimalistic look. However, I do love to see things hanging on walls. I love that. I love that. I love to see Art Deco. Like, I love that. So how can we increase our self-worth by being in things that we feel like we deserve? Right? I'm full of stories today. My goodness, this is getting a longer episode than we usually do. So let me tell this story and then let me start working on closing us out. So I was at the nail salon last week and this lady was talking to someone else. But of course, I'm listening. She's loud enough. And she's literally sitting next to me. And she's just basically saying how every Friday she goes to some restaurant and then every Saturday she goes to some other restaurant. And immediately I was like, dang, almost like a sense of jealousy. And I had to ask myself, are you jealous? Are you for real jealous right now? Because this lady is eating out. And when I kept experiencing and processing through, I wasn't jealous. I was, what is the word? No. I was jealous because I felt like I couldn't do that. I felt like I couldn't go to 2 restaurants weekly because I thought maybe, it was going to be too expensive or whatever, right? Or I don't know, where am I going to eat and all that kind of stuff, right? And then I was like, I don't have 2 restaurants that I love that much, which is not true. So then I said to myself, okay, well, let's create that lifestyle. Let's create the lifestyle of where I eat out twice a week, every week. There's a sushi place that I'm obsessed, that I wouldn't mind going to every week. And I'm sure I could figure out another restaurant that I want to do, or it can be something that I really enjoy doing, which is trying a new place all the time. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to start working on a plan where that can be my lifestyle. Because every Friday, I used to go out and get coffee every Friday, like a new coffee spot every Friday. And I found a lot of places I didn't like and found some places that I do like. And so I do like that. That's me. Like, I feel like I'm worthy of how I want to live my life is experiences, is being out, is also being cozy inside, is also having fun. It's also doing this podcast. I really do enjoy this. And so I want to do more of that. Falling back into my self-worth. What is that? How do I see myself? How do I want to show up? What do I want to surround myself around? What do I deserve? What feels good? Right? What feels good? Setting the standard for myself. Right? So what are some things that you can do? Join me in this quest. Maybe you too want to go to a restaurant every Friday and every Saturday or every Wednesday and every Monday to break up the, Monday blues and the Sunday and the Wednesday hump days, almost there, but not, that kind of thing, right? Maybe for this fall, some things that you are wanting to embrace about fall is new love, Like I mentioned before, I really love being in my home. I'm loving saving, right? And I know I just talked about going out to eat. That's a different story. Because that's gonna be worked into the budget. I'm talking about where I'm just out to be out and I'm just spending money to spend money because I'm there at the store and I feel like I have to buy something, like stuff like that. I'm not really thinking ahead, just spending the money now and not thinking like, 2 weeks from now I actually have a dinner date. You know what I mean? So before I should just spend, socialize, pack calendar. So falling in love with new loves. What are some of your new loves? It can be as simple as a new show that you want to really get into, right? Maybe you're like me and you've never watched Grey's Anatomy, but you love Shonda Rhimes. And it's like, how can I not watch Grey's Anatomy? How could I not at least give it a try? If it's anything like your other shows, which grabs you by the throat the whole time, you're like, finally, okay, what happens next, right? Like if it's like that, why not? So what's a new love? Maybe you met someone. Maybe you want to meet someone new. Maybe you want to move somewhere new. Maybe you want new friends. Maybe you've met a new friend, and that's exciting. Right? Embracing autumn, embracing the change, embracing new love, embracing new relationships, jobs, pets, right? Like some of you may know I love corgis. I'm nowhere near getting a dog. However, I've been thinking about just like being a dog sitter for corgis only. I don't even know if you could do that, but it's something I'm thinking about. Right. So what are some of the new beliefs and experiences that you want to experience this fall? Shedding the old ways of showing up in the world, right? Like, what are the things we're going to embrace about ourselves? I was working with someone who wants to experience what it's like saying their needs up front, right? When they meet someone saying their needs up front, this is as it relates to dating. So instead of waiting to see if that will scare them off or change how they look at them, they are going to start asking for 3-star and up restaurants for dates. They don't want to go to anything below that. They want to experience 3-star restaurants and up. And I'm like, hell yeah, go for it. Go for it. Another client of mine expressed that they no longer want to be the only person of service in a relationship. They want to start receiving more, right? Like that's their thing that they're going to embrace. So embrace autumn, embrace new love, embrace your self-worth, lean more into these things. What's no longer serving us? What do we want to watch die? What do we want to say thank you for the experience and want to say thank you for the death and experience the beauty of death, right? There are people who believe like death and life, the cycle, right? What dies becomes new again and, just continuation. So if that is true, our lives will continue. We'll get through this. It sucks. It hurts. It's scary. It's different. And how can we also find beauty in the things that no longer serve us? Okay. Me, I really want to go apple picking this fall. So hold me to it. Let's see if I can do that. See if I can make it work. Okay. You got this. Like always, I believe in you. If you have any questions, reach out. We'd love to chat. Please don't forget to rate and subscribe, of course, and to write a review. It really helps the show grow. Okay. Appreciate you. Talk to you later. Bye. Thank you for listening to the show, loves. This show was produced by Mackenzie Mazzell and me, Dantea. If you got a question you'd like me to answer, which I know you do, please send it to dantea@soireesandtherapy.com. That's SOIREES for soirees. When you do that, the answer might just become an episode, and I would love to keep talking about your question. Want to work with me? The link is in the show notes. I'll see you there, and I'll see you in the next episode. Okay, bye.